Ernie was salt of the earth.
He was a true gentleman.
He was down to earth and he had time for everybody.
I found him very kind.
He was a wonderful, warm man, and he had a really good handshake.
Ernie had a heart for all things Yarmouth.
Very humble man. He's a wonderful person.
He was incredibly creative, a real problem solver.
Ernie was unique.
I think one of his well-known things was he did a lot of tankards. He basically made lots of tankards, often to raise money for charity and that became his kind of the primary thing he did at the potteries, to make money but also raise money for charity and stuff.
Strange enough, I remember Ernie's mugs from my childhood because my father was a fan of them, and various different editions of these celebratory mugs were brought into our home. So I can remember having a line of Ernie's mugs. He did, of course, make one here because I think he made one for just about every building, organisation and institution in Great Yarmouth at some point, and he certainly made one here for the minstrel. I think actually was at St Nicholas Church there, a celebratory mug. We've got one of them on display here in the church, and I know there's a lot of the older folks in the congregation still have treasured memories of their Ernie mugs, which they look after and care for with deep respect.
So I met Ernie through my grandmother, who was one of his students in the pottery. So she went along to potteries and took classes with him. And then upon graduating from university, photographer, looking for subjects to shoot, he agreed to allow me to photograph him. And as a photographer, there's something really special about if someone allows you to take their portrait, because, you know, it's quite intimate. He gave me quite a lot of his time, a couple of hours for a recent graduate, which was incredible, really. And just to give that time to a stranger was just, you know, you don't get a lot of that, and I was a complete stranger to him. He knew my grandmother and that was it, and he gave me that time, and I produced some great work from it. I'm very thankful for it.
Well, we met in 1967. Ernie was a glazier then as an apprentice. As we went on, we obviously got married, and Ernie wanted to follow his love of the history of Yarmouth, and his friend wanted to run a pottery. They decided to do a partnership and take on the South East Tower, which is next door, which is derelict. Unfortunately, the partnership didn't last. When I was expecting Lee, I decided to come into the business with Ernie and make it our full-time job. We wanted to do a tribute to Ernie when he first died. People were saying, you need to have something in his honour. So with the help of friends and everything else, what we wanted to do was a keepsake for people. They kept saying, well, you know, you need to do something for him. And Ruben actually came up with well, what about if we do a mural? We obviously had lots of discussions about funding with several walls that we were going to do, but in the end we got the wall that we wanted. And when you actually look at the mural, the actual church in the background where Ernie was christened. So that ties in with the medieval wall, and we've always lived within 10 minutes of the wall, but it's always been in Yarmouth, and he's always had connections with the medieval wall, and obviously he died within the medieval wall. So it all ties in as a thing, but the actual mirror itself is fantastic. It's a brilliant tribute to him.
I'm Mark Tanti, aka Demo Graphics, and I've recently moved to Norwich and have been living in Norwich for the last 2 years. So Ruben recently contacted me from Reprezent. He explained he wanted to do this tribute mural for Ernie Childs, and it was a very short notice, but I agreed to do it. So I wanted to capture Ernie's character because I feel that's important when you're doing a portrait, is to capture that person, and his whole family has said that I've done a good job of capturing his personality. He was a very warm, happy person, and in the picture that I've chosen, Karen said that he always had creases in his shirts, and I've captured all of that with the mess and stuff like. So he's quite, you know, quite an artistic person himself, and I wanted to capture that in this mural. Monday, Tuesday we scribbled on the wall with a doodle grid, and then using the doodle grid I took photos of that grid and overlaid the design elements. So using the design elements we made them transparent and overlaid them to the doodle grid. Wednesday I started working on the actual painting, working from the inside out, so working on the main focus of the detail, which is Ernie Childs. On this large mural I decided to start with the detail and leave some of the larger areas for my friend Amy Ricks to colour in. And then the Thursday moved down to the shoulder and the forearm, and the Friday the hand. So Saturday, Sunday I had Amy Ricks join me. So Amy Ricks helped me with the workshops that we ran for the family and friends, where they had the opportunity to get involved and fill in areas of the wall. So the design I kept quite simple along the base of the mural, so they could fill in like the shield, the waves, that sort of thing. And then going through to the second week, so I refined the sky and then came down and refined the waves of the Lydia Eva. And then Thursday I finished the bottom of the tanker, and then now we're on Friday. So it's now wrapped up. Ruben from Reprezent is now putting on the protective coat to protect it from UV light and weathering. So that will give the mural a nice longevity. It's taken about 13 days. Today we did a check and just done a quality control check and just made sure everybody's happy with what's on there before it gets coated. Now it's been coated, you know, that's like the seal of approval now, and yeah, we're now happy with everything, and this is how the mural's going to look now going forwards. They all knew Ernie was a very loving and warm person who'd often give people a hug, and you know, his motto was keep the bright light, which is what we're going to call this piece, keep the bright light. And it's a message to the Great Yarmouth to stay positive and keep the bright light. So that's why I've included it in the design with the rays of light shining down.
I am Colin Stewart. I'm the Managing Director of the Oil and Gas Division. Stowham Group is a service company for the energy industry. We work primarily in the oil and gas and the renewable sectors, completing inspections, repairs, maintenance and upgrades. It was really important for us to support this project. Although primarily the scaffolding division undertakes works offshore, we were really happy to be invited to give a little bit back to the community and work on this project with you. Yeah, it's been a great job.
My name is Ruben. I'm from Reprezent Project, and I'm the CEO of the arts organization and one of the persons behind of this mural to bring this vision together. Meeting Karen and looking at all the pottery and the museum and everything, I was like, we really need to do a tribute mural. We need to celebrate our community champions in Great Yarmouth. So yeah, after 2 years we finally have got these beautiful murals here. We finally deliver. You know, it's been 2 years that we have been promised to Child's family that we're gonna do it. We're gonna celebrate Ernie the way he deserves it. And it's here, it's right on his neighborhood, the mural of Ernie celebrating his life. This mural is part of the 45 murals we have got around Great Yarmouth as art trail. So the art trail is called Street Gallery Walls, and it's about bringing murals that celebrates the heritage and the history of Great Yarmouth. For this year and next year we decide to do a new edition, and the new edition of murals we are creating is community champions, and you know, Ernie is definitely one of them. With the help of Ernie Childs and her family as well, they've been brilliant. Stow Scaffolding and Cameron as well, and the owner of the house as well. There was a lot of community work going towards to creating this, and creating this in the space of 15 days, it's just like brilliant, you know? Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. Really, really proud.
I think the mural's absolutely fantastic. I can honestly say I'm thrilled to bits with that. I think it's brilliant.
I just think it's absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic. It's emotional. It would be the most fitting tribute to him.
I think that's wonderful. And to be able to come and paint some of it is a joy.
I think the music was absolutely fantastic. I think the craftsmanship, the artwork is at a level I didn't expect. I think it represents my dad very well, and I think that kind of transcends through the mural, and it comes through.
It is an honour to paint this mural for Ernie Childs.
Yes, I like this.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. Really, really proud.
It's a brilliant tribute to him.
I love Yarmouth, and I do everything I can to promote Yarmouth.
My name's Abel Rogers, a shareman am I, on a three-masted schooner from Twillingate Isle. I've sailed the world over, north, south, east and west, but the middle of nowhere's where I like it best. It's wave over wave, there's no other life but to sail the salt sea.